We are lucky to have plenty of natural wonders right here on Earth. Mother Nature, however, sometimes wants to throw us for a loop and make this world a bit strange rather than just beautiful. Today we will show you some of the strangest wonders of nature. Rainbow Cave. Mount Rainier National Park is located in the Foggy Mountains of Washington State. Although its beauty makes it stand out, what's really special about it is beneath the surface. Photographer Matthew Nichols was in the right place at the right time in August 2022 when his trip through an ice cave transformed into a vibrant, fairy tale-like scene. It turns out that sunlight could refract through the snow and ice ceiling of the cave because it was sufficiently shallow. This vivid array of mixed hues was created as white sunlight was separated into different wavelengths by the different thicknesses of ice. Wherever the roof was thicker, darker, bluer tones appeared, while thinner parts had yellow and red tones. Lava Dome. Even though being in nature is frequently linked to feelings of beauty and tranquility, Mother Nature is full of unexpected surprises that seem to appear out of nowhere. This may appear to be but is not a sea of waves, but rather a solidified bed of cooled lava that is hosting a volcanic occurrence known as a lava dome fountain. Typically, magma is ejected randomly and chaotically from lava eruptions in all directions. But this precisely symmetrical lava dome was created by Hawaii's Kilauea volcano in October 1969, and it was photographed. Geologists speculated that it might have occurred because of extremely high pressure inside the volcanic vent, which forced lava to erupt temporarily into a perfectly round swelling. The lava that created this dome would have been exceptionally thick, building up high around the vent rather than flowing away like normal lava flows do. Although similar lava formations are said to occur in many volcanic regions, it is very uncommon to see one that is as flawlessly symmetrical as this one. Giant red-winged grasshopper. This enormous insect is a red-winged grasshopper, and yes, its enormous wings are functional. The huge red-winged grasshopper, which is located in South and Central America, can reach lengths of up to 5.5 inches. While the majority of common grasshoppers range in size from 0.39 inches to 2.75 inches at the maximum. Furthermore, they can fly because of their remarkable wings, which have a wingspan of up to 9 inches, leading some people to mistake them for birds. Thankfully, unlike their locust counterparts, enormous grasshoppers would rather live alone and never congregate in large groups of billions. Hair ice. Although snowflakes are sometimes seen as a representation of the beauty of nature, did you know that combining ice with fungi can result in even more unusual outcomes? Hair ice is a fascinating structure that resembles delicate, silky hair strands that resemble cotton candy. On rare occasions, when the ideal circumstances are met, that is, when the temperature is just below 32 degrees Fahrenheit and the air is humid, it emerges from decaying wood. The most crucial requirement is the existence of a certain fungus known as Exidiopsis effusa. Recrystallization is a process that causes ice crystals to typically enlarge in an outward direction. Still, the fungus yields substances that are comparable to antifreeze. Cloud iridescence. This celestial occurrence, which was observed floating over Brazil in 2016, may appear to be a UFO visiting Earth, but it is actually very much a part of our planet. This ethereal blob, called cloud iridescence, is only visible when a thin coating of small suspended water droplets or ice crystals crosses the light beams of the sun. Sunlight scatters into a vivid variety of hues after bouncing off these air particles, much like when light strikes an oily puddle to produce a rainbow pattern on the ground. 2015 appeared to have delivered an unexplained overhead spectacle toward Philadelphia's citizens. This shimmering, vaporous mass was photographed above roofs, softly toppling in the wind before disappearing from sight, giving the impression that it was an odd cloud dropping from the sky. However, prior to announcing that the sky is falling, there are a few possibilities as to what might actually be happening. The unusual shape may be a stray foam sud from a nearby industrial plant, several online detectives have noted. Downbursts. Did you know that mushroom clouds aren't limited to only nuclear bombs? Nature itself can conjure up thoughts of a nuclear apocalypse in extremely rare circumstances. This amazing time-lapse video, taken in June 2019 in Alberta, Canada, depicts the terrifying movements of a rare meteorological event known as a downburst. It looks like an atom bomb in reverse. A downburst, also called a rain bomb, is an uncommon but spectacular burst of rain that develops from thunderstorms with exceptionally high precipitation contents. Huge amounts of air, rain, and hail can be held back by strong winds flowing upward into a storm. However, the updraft may diminish when additional winds enter the system until it is unable to hold the storm's contents, at which point the storm's contents abruptly overflow into a small, focused area. Basted stinkhorn. As one of the most peculiar and enigmatic creatures in the vast repertoire of nature, fungi are known to possess certain magical properties. But this next weird fungus can only be described as a total catastrophe. Introducing the basted stinkhorn, a mushroom with an even more peculiar growth habit than the others. The outer layer of the stinkhorn splits open to reveal a pile of crimson magic mushrooms. The fruiting body, which consists of latticed branches, emerged from the ruptured egg resembling an extraterrestrial spore-covered jack-in-the-box. The fruiting body of the stinkhorn emits an unpleasant smell similar to decaying meat. It stinks by name and by nature, but it's strangely satisfying to behold. The purpose of the stink is to draw flies, who then spread the spores to other areas and aid in the fungus's reproduction. Other members of the stinkhorn family, such as the smooth cage fungus, which is identified by its white hue, also go through this process. Their fruiting bodies are uncommon because, similar to basket stinkhorns, they don't live long, falling swiftly into soggy heaps and eventually rotting completely. Sometimes, however, a startling cluster of several fruiting bodies gathered together is found. The stinkhorn's joys are better left behind the screen, despite the fact that they are strangely enjoyable to see. Burning tree. You may have heard of flames encroaching on trees, scorching their bark, but have you ever seen a tree burn from the inside out? There was a way to contain the October 2017 interior fire in Shelbyville, California, inside a hollow trunk. However, what on earth made this flaming display possible? The tree was probably set on fire in a wildfire that had been engulfing the neighborhood. On the other hand, the bark might have been more fireproof outside if it had been dampened by anything, like recent rain. The trunk most likely burned from the inside out, resembling a blazing chimney, when wildfire embers discovered a crack in the wet bark. The Devil's Bath. This pool's brilliant shade may lead you to believe that there has been a poisonous waste contamination, but you would be mistaken. It is entirely natural, yet it is nonetheless lethal. There are many geothermal sites in the Waiotapu Wonderland, which is in central New Zealand, but the Devil's Bath is the most fascinating of them all. The Devil's Bath is regarded as a natural wonder despite its monstrous reputation, primarily because of its unusual lime-colored liquid. The intense green hue is caused by a large concentration of ferrous salts and hydrogen sulfide, which rise up through the Earth's interior and add more than just a hint of color. The strong smell of rotten eggs is caused by the enormous amount of sulfur, and it only grows worse. Trypophobic trees. Forest areas are ethereal and mystical locations that are ideal for strolls in close proximity to nature. Nevertheless, be cautious, since the enchantment can rapidly transform into pure terror. This tree trunk, with hundreds of small bulging holes all over it, is a trypophobe's worst nightmare. This particular tree is entirely natural. Acorn woodpeckers drill the holes in the bark of the trees. They do this on their own and use the acorns they store inside as food storage to get them through the winter. Lava skylight. Just as in life, fire and smoke go hand in nature. It's also safe to say, though, that once the smoke clears, things are not always as they seem. Even while it appears that demons are being sent into this nightmare emptiness, things aren't nearly as dire as you might think. Even yet, I wouldn't precisely describe them as comforting. This was photographed in 1996 at Hawaii's West Kamakona lava skylight. Over the years, numerous lava flows have dried up and flowed over the hole from an upward direction. When a portion of the lava tube ceiling collapses in on itself, exposing the magma below and providing us with a unique and captivating look into what goes on behind the scenes of active volcanoes, the result is a lava skylight. Ice volcano. Every year in the middle of winter, this enormous frozen building develops apparently out of nowhere at Letchworth State Park in New York. This ice tower rises to a height of about 50 feet, and its frozen summit appears to be the world's first ice volcano because it can continuously erupt a torrent of water. The source of this peculiarity in nature is a very artificial water jet from the Glen Iris fountain in the park. When the fountain water shoots up into the freezing environment, it falls as a frosty slush, burying the jet beneath the winter snow. Thanks for watching. Which of these do you think is the strangest? Tell us your thoughts in the comments below.